Hey everybody, it's Becky at BC Design Studio, and I'm here for you today live with Bowdabra, bowdabra.com. Make the best bows and other craft projects easily with the Bowdabra. Today we're going to be making another altered jar project, trash to treasure type thing, and the theme is Christmas in July. There's a lot of steps, and I do have some of them done ahead of time, and I'm gonna plug in my hot glue gun because this is a full project. Get that warmed up. To show you recently, this was a trash to treasure upcycled jar. Adorable little puppy looking thing. All right, let's get started. We've got a lot of steps. I'm gonna try to get you down to the work table. Okay. I'm going to start with this chunky yarn, and I'm going to cut quite a long piece. I do have a ruler here if anybody likes to be the measuring kind. I'm going to go longer than 12. I'm going to go 18 inches, just so my fingers don't get twisted up. And because we're doing a pom-pom, this is an unorthodox way to use your Bowdabra machine. This is the mini. This is the regular. Okay, so I have that down, and everything's getting twisty here. And I'm just going to wrap to make a pom-pom. Just keep wrapping till you get a nice full pom-pom. Keep it down, keep it down. I'm just going to keep building. Get a nice full pom-pom. Don't want them sneaking up over. Dragging this leaf around here. There we go. Okay, let's hope we're getting there pretty soon. Let's see. Feels pretty tight, feels pretty good. Give it a couple more for good measure. Okay. Snip. Bring these ends up, tie it together. Voila. Okay. So here's a beginning of a pom-pom. There's the end of my, so we've got to go through and snip all of our loops. And you're not going to need that string either, so don't worry about trying to keep that longer than the other ones. We're going to go around and trim it down to a basic circle to make a puffy head. There, okay. And we're just going to trim them down, shape them up. All right, fluff them out, see how we're looking. I'm going to go a little shorter. Shake them down, try to get them all even. And I did use chunky yarn. You know, you can use what you have, the closest to white or any other color you decide you want to use if you're going to try making this project. A little long on this side, so I'm going to trim it down, keep up a good shape. Okay, I think that's going to work. We have our pom-pom, eh? Okay, get rid of this. Here is the jar. It's the old Yankee Candle jar. And I've already put on some silver shiny snowflakes. And I'll show you how I did that. But I used a nice silver paper, but it's a, what do you call it? It's got fibers in it, like fabric. So it's like a linen paper. And I had to be very careful. There's my snowflake punch. Worked fine through there. Let me get that out of the way. And so it was a little tedious to, there's like 13 snowflakes on there. So I just didn't want you to have to be bored through the video, wasting that time. So there is one I punched out. I will show you how I applied it after, because I'm going to put that somewhere else. Okay, so I'm finding the seam here, and that's going to be on the bottom. I'm going to hot glue that to the top of the jar. Takes a little bit for it to cool off. Meanwhile, I found a stray here I'm going to trim, a little too long. Okay. And next I searched the internet for a pattern for a little top hat, printed it out, stuck it to black cardstock. And one hint I want to give you for this is when you're gluing down your paper, put the adhesive on the outside of the design. It won't move, but it also won't be in the middle of the cardstock that you're going to need, and you'd have to rip off, and it might damage your cardstock that you need to use for your project. So you can find, oh my God, many, many, many patterns for little top hats online. So go for it. I will not be including this pattern because I would have to, some of them are free, some of them are not. Anyway, so I cut the circle out. I liked this pattern because it had these little tabs that help you when assembling. You can use tape or glue or hot glue, whatever you want. And then this folds up underneath there. But it just was easier to assemble with the little tabs. And then this part was the band around the hat. And I'm going to add a piece of ribbon around there. Let's see how I did. Try to keep all the seams in the back. Okay, just a little dab of glue there. Keeping it right close to the brim. And one little dab there. Okay. And the snowflake I punched out. Oop. I used the Xyron sticker maker, this with a permanent adhesive, and you just load it in there, push it back so that it catches, turn the crank, spits out the other end, and you rip it off. But it was, because of the linen paper, it's a little tender. So imagine wading through 13 of these. There. Okay. And I'm going to put that snowflake right in the middle of the hat, a little bit on the ribbon. Sticking more to my finger than it wants to stick to my project. There we go. Okay. Some of the adhesive from the linen paper, pull it off, split the paper. Okay, so we have a little top hat. And you can probably tell by now this is going to be a snowman for our Christmas in July theme. I'm going to hot glue the hat right onto the pom pom. It's smoking. All right. We'll let that, ow, son of a gun. Bending up the sides so we get a little curl in the brim. I'm going to push that back a little bit so we can see more of a face. All right, let's see how this is going to go. I've got, these are upholstery tacks, and I just used a permanent black marker to make them black eyes. And I'm going to try to find a way to tuck them in here, so let's see how that's going to go. turn them around in a minute so that I get these situated. And if you angled it down, you should have better luck with them staying and looking straight. He could use a little bit more trim, but we're going to deal with it. You don't want him to look all cockeyed. There. Yeah, I'm going to trim those just a slight. I'm going to use the little scissors so I don't take part of the hat with it. All right. This one needs a little bit more help. And for the nose, I had a branch that I painted orange. It's not quite dry. We're going to work with it though. And I'm trying to get the hot glue to go around all of the edges and find a good spot for the nose in here. He needs a comb over. There we go. Okay, moving on to a few more decorations around the jar. These are self-adhesive Ziva Creative flourishes. They are light blue. Going with the blue and white theme here. And I'm just going to make it a winter wonderland. I have 2 packages, so 4 of these. And of course you could add lights inside the jar. That would be a nice touch. Or put candy, or your favorite hot cocoa recipe, whatever you would like to make your holidays special. Christmas in July. I'm not avoiding the silver snowflakes. I'm going over them. Okay, and last but not least, there we go. So we have the Winter Wonderland jar with snowman, and one last touch. We've got the Bowdabra wire. I'm going to snip that tape. It's probably going to make a mess in the future, but for right now, I'm going to use 12 inches of wire. Fold it around to the back. And I've got some lovely light blue ribbon with polka dots. I'm going to make a short tail So I'm going to use 12 inches. And I'm going to fork the ends. I call it a fork tongue. Fold it in half and cut from the center outward. And you get that. Find your top side. There we go. And put the tail in. I may need to trim it smaller. We'll see how it goes. Okay. And it's just not going to be a humongous bow. Probably just 3 little loops on each side. So, but this is a one-sided ribbon for the most part too, so we'll have to do some twisting. And I don't want it to be too big. So that is, because there's this handy dandy tool right here that tells me that that is a 2.5 loop, 2.5 inch loop. And if you know me, I'm all about the 3s, so 3 loops on each side. That's 2. Three on that side. And 3 on this side. Okay. And you can use this for better measure. This comes with your Bowdabra tool, and it helps you scrunch everything down. When you're making really full bows, that's a handy dandy. All right, snip this right up to here. Pull the wire up. I didn't loop it this time because it's such a tiny bow. It'll be easy to handle. Pull it up. Bring this to the back side. Tie it again. Perfect. Okay, so here's our front side. And I'm just shaping it up right now. Popping open these loops and spreading them out just a little bit. I don't want to cover up anything. I just want to embellish. Okay. And this is wire ribbon, so if you don't like that, you just pull it to the back. All right. I am going to shorten this tail about 1 inch. See what happens when you don't fold it? It gets uneven. There we go. Okay. Bring you back home. And using the wire that you tied up, I'm going to put this below the lid so that you won't be pestered with it every time you're taking off the lid. And just tying it around the back side. How we looking in the front? There we go. There's a Winter Wonderland Santa jar for your happy Christmas in July. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed another upcycle. That's the word. Upcycled jar for Christmas. This is the second. Here is the first. Winter Wonderland Santa for Christmas in July. And he also looks a bit Christmassy too, doesn't he? All right. Thanks again. Make sure you stop over to Bowdabra.com and check out all their wonderful ribbons that go with the tools here. And there's plenty of instructional videos to help you do swags and bows and other projects like this. You craft on. Have a great day.